Hello everyone and welcome back into my kitchen. Come on, let's make this recipe. Alright guys, so I have not recorded in about 2 months. I hope I remember I hope I remember how to do this, but I decided I'm going to start off small. So today we're going to make egg salad. Now usually I'm not an egg person, but for some reason I can tolerate egg salad or hard-boiled eggs, but like fried eggs, I don't know, I just can't. So let me show you what I'm using today. I have 4 eggs, and what I've done is I've took them out of the fridge and I have them at room temperature. Historically, I have all sorts of issues with eggs. They look like they've been through a war when I'm done with them, but I've always just taken them out of the fridge and cooked them. So I'm going to try something new. So 4 eggs, room temperature. I have a small piece of red onion, a piece of celery, and I'm going to use apple today because I feel like a small amount of sweetness to this would go really well. Yesterday I went to this fancy schmancy bakery with my daughter and my son-in-law Hans, and I got this brioche bread, and instantly I thought about egg salad. So we're going to use this. We have some Dijon regular. I'm going to use white pepper today just for aesthetic purposes. We're going to use some salt. And I have a pan here with boiling water, and I'm gonna put my eggs in here very gently, like so. And another thing I always do, I always put it in cold water, but I'm trying something different because I saw this online. So I'm gonna put them in here gently and cook them for 6 minutes, then turn my stove off, cover them, and leave them for another 6 minutes, and after that dump them in an ice bath for another 6 minutes. So 3 sixes. So while this is on the stove for 6 minutes, I will go ahead and just do very small dice of my veggies and my apple, and we will come on back. Okay guys, so here I have my eggs, and I accidentally cooked them for like 7.5 minutes instead of 6. So I tried to cut back and only let them sit for 5.5 minutes. Let's hope that works. And now I'm going to add them into my heavily iced water here. And we'll leave them in here for 6 minutes. Fingers crossed I don't mess up. And we'll see how that works, okay? Alright guys, let's see if my method works. So I'm just going to just hit it on here and give it a roll, and fingers crossed it comes right off. Well, it's coming out better than it usually does, so I'm I'm happy about that. I was hoping it was just like gonna come off in one piece, but I'm okay with this. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the others, and the next thing we're gonna do is just cut them up. If you have one of those egg slicer thingies, you can use that. I don't have one of those, so I am going to use just a little chopping board and chop it up. And once I get that done, I'll be right back. I just want you to see that the egg actually cooked very nicely. Okay? Alrighty. Alright guys, here's my egg that I have cut up. You can do it into any size that you want. And I only use about 1/4 of my apple. And it got a little bit discolored here, but that's okay. Here's my onion, celery, and I chopped up a couple sprigs of chive. That's what that little green stuff is here. You don't have to use that if you don't want to. And then my apples. Okay. Now I'm going to put in my mayo. I'm going to say about 1/4 cup or so is enough. Alright, and I'm going to put a little bit of white vinegar. Tiny bit, like 1/4 cap. Let's put a little salt. Maybe about 1/4 teaspoon. I'm using white pepper like I said, but you can use black pepper if you want. It's basically for aesthetic purposes. About 1/4 teaspoon. Some regular mustard, about 1/2 teaspoon, and some Dijon. If you don't want to use Dijon, you don't have to. About the same amount. And basically you just fold everything together. Simple. Alright, let me get this mixed up here. I don't like a whole lot of mustard in it. Not mustard, mayo. Let me get this mixed up. Alright, so here you have it. All you have to do now is make our sandwich. Guys, here's the final product. Look at that. That's gonna make a really delicious lunch or a light dinner. I hope you take the time to try this. The bread that I'm using is brioche, I believe. But you can use any kind of bread that you want. Guys, thank you so much for sticking with me in the kitchen today. Take the time to make this for your family. It's simple and very, very delicious. And I hope you come back next time when I promise to make another delicious recipe. Bye.